और सुनवाते हैं कि क्या कुछ हुआ इस इन कॉन्वर्सेशन सेशन में आज सुबह।
Nithya and Rashmika. Yeah, we were just having a brief chat inside, and you said tumbling into this right now, it feels like finally adjusting to an arranged marriage. Can- yeah, yeah. So can you just talk about that? Because you said that something in you was resisting acting for a while, and now you've suddenly started to love the whole thing, like an arranged marriage. What's it?
Uh, I was actually talking to Mr. Ranjan just backstage, and I think a lot of people actually know that I kind of got into films very accidentally and not with a great interest or with great passion to become an actress. My interest was to do wildlife films. I really wanted to be in a forest somewhere away from people, definitely away from cameras. And I wanted to be around animals. I wanted to make films there. So that was a passion for me. When I ended up here, it seemed like so unlike my personality was so not suited for the film industry. Like what is normally required, I didn't have it. I didn't have diplomacy. I didn't have a lot of things, or love for attention. I was extremely not fond of attention. So things like that made it very difficult for me to kind of be happy at work. So I was quite miserable most of the time, for all the time that like I've done some really nice films which people think, oh my God, great films, but I was pretty miserable. But as I was telling you, like very, very recently, I started to suddenly, out of nowhere, develop this incredible love towards cinema. So I thought, if I think about it, there are so many jobs that are there. And when I think about my job, I feel like what an incredible job I have. What a beautiful medium this is. What an incredibly powerful medium this is, right? Because I can make something that will emotionally change the state of people, and that is powerful. I can make you happy, and that is powerful. So I started to develop so much love, and then I thought, oh my God, this feels like maybe this is what an arranged marriage feels like. I didn't really plan to get married or something like that, so I used to always wonder what it probably feels like. And I thought maybe this is what it feels like. I've been with this job for like 10 years. And after that, suddenly now I'm starting to feel this love, this sort of very, very, very deep, earthy kind of a love towards it. And I've started watching films. I've started watching international films. I've started wanting to get a nice sound system in my house, to watch it properly, to do justice to it. I'm also starting to get very passionate about making really good films, doing something bigger, which I never had till now. So that's a very new feeling for me.
What about you? But before that, I need to ask you this. Are you really called the Karnataka crush?
It was initially. Now I do not know which
I mean,
state
that people
I'm
actually
in.
call you that? Is that how it is? They come up to you and say Karnataka crush?
So with my first film, that came up, yeah.
Okay. How embarrassing was it?
So, likewise, even initially, I had no idea. Oh, hi everyone. First, before I begin, hi. I gotta give you a heads up that I cannot be formal in my speech, so please do not mind. And yeah, so initially in my first film, I had no idea what film was. I wouldn't watch films. I just came out of hostel, and then I was in college, and films happen. And in my first film, people started, accepting me with so much love and everything. And suddenly there was this Karnataka crush, and I was like, okay, now what is this? It's not, common when girls are, I don't know, they have a name or a tag or whatever. And I was like, Karnataka crush, that's new. Okay, I don't know how to react to this, but let me just go by it, you know. But yeah, it's quite fun.
It's and to go back to the other point, like Nithya said, you said that you are not from a great movie watching culture either.
Yeah.
So when you go from that to being inside this medium, what's that like?
So initially, like, I had no idea. My first film was so new. I didn't know where to look in the camera. I didn't even. I'm, very awkward when it comes in front of camera. I get very conscious. I don't think I'm super confident. And even now, I'm not. But I think through these 3 years, it's grown better. I'm much better now. But initially, I didn't know how to accept this. I didn't know how to do my work. I didn't know how to, give in to the characters. I was just me. And I think initially it was the features and, the newness and the new face
Right.
kind of helped me. And now it is that I'm giving into the character. I'm not worried about how I look on screen, but what I perform matters to me. So yeah, I think I'm just growing. I'm just.
So how do you give in to a character? And that's a question to both of you. Like, can you just take one character that you've played? In your case, I'm probably going to take Dear Comrade,
Yeah.
because that's easily the most kind of complex role that you've played. Like, how do you just surrender, or what is your process? How do you get into that zone of playing someone like that? Is that close to who you are?
Lily, I'm not sure. I think that's part of every girl in every, one part of their life. They're very vulnerable, they're weak yet so strong and all of that. It's just at that point when I accepted that film, I was in, mental state where I wasn't fine. I had a lot of things personally happening to me, and I was like, I need to give in. What am I doing with my life? Dude, I have this platform. Am I making a use of it? And all of that. I started going insane. And I think even now, some things make me go like, oh my God, why can't I do that? Like, I watched her, I watched Ohere, and, yesterday I was watching the film. I was like, dude, why can't I do that? Like, it's amazing how they do everything, what they do on screen. And I think Dear Comrade was the first of what I actually started giving my all to the film. I used to cry. I used to be in such bad mental state in the second half of the film. I used to constantly cry. I used to go to the director and I used to be like, no, this is too much stress. Can I just take some days off? And all of that started happening. But now I know what it is to give into the character, and how it feels when audience come and say, we feel you. We have been through this, and they tell me their stories, and now I know that I need to work on more scripts like that. And it's very personal. Dear Comrade was the most personal film for me, and I think will be for a really long time. Lily is not much of me. Lily is girl I was representing, and it's the thing what the team put in, the cinematographer, the actor, the director. We all came together and created Lily. If Bobby wasn't there, Lily wouldn't have been there. So it's just like, the energies and everything which comes in. Yeah.
Right. And you, Nithya, can you just, of the 10-year journey, can you pick something that's close to you and say how you got into it?
I have to say, for me, somehow it's always been so natural and so easy. I don't like when people say what was a challenge when you were doing this film. I could never answer that question. Nothing was a challenge ever to me. That makes me realize that it's just so natural. This is the thing I'm actually best at doing, and this is what I'm meant to do.
Right.
It was effortless, to be honest. At the risk of sounding narcissistic, it was truly effortless. It is always effortless for me, acting. It's never an effort. Slipping into a character for me is, when I hear a narration, so someone will come and narrate the film to me, I hear that narration and that just stays in my head constantly. I think about it constantly. I think about the scenes. I have incredibly good memory, so I remember every dialogue, I remember every scene, and I picture the whole thing in my head. I have a visual memory, so while they are narrating, I'll see the entire film. I can see the film. So I'll see the entire thing, and then that's just the film in my head. And suddenly I know how to play it. That's just how I do it. And yeah, so, but I also want to say to Rashmika that, in fact, we were just talking about it, and I feel exactly the same as you. Like, I see certain films, and I was telling him that I feel like, why am I not doing this? Why am I doing this, kind of stuff? And so I guess there's no becoming ever. Like, you never become that. I think you always will be in that space.
I think that's one thing common with a lot of actors, like we look at something and we're like, dude, that's brilliant, that's fucking brilliant, how are they doing that?
So those were the leading actresses Rashmika Mandanna and Nithya Menen in conversation with Rangan Bhardwaj.
और अमित, अब जैसे जैसे समय बीतता जा रहा है ऐसा लग रहा है वक्त क्यों ना ठहर जाए, क्योंकि अब समापन सत्र की बेला बहुत नज़दीक है, हृदय भारी है, लेकिन क्या करें, विधि का विधान है कि जो शुरू हुआ है वो समाप्त भी होगा, लेकिन